Okay.
Okay, Julie is recording now. And whenever you start on it,
You're so choppy. I don't understand it. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I have you guys set up to record. You ladies can go ahead and start whenever you like, and then I'll go ahead and hop back on after we leave here at Shannon's.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay. All right.
We still have another minute or so, ladies, but good evening. What is today? It's Sunday, January. It's been a long 2 weeks here. I'll tell you. I don't know what day it is. It's like the 5th or the 6th or something, right? Anyway, it's 2019. I got that much. Hi, girl. Look at you in your pajamas. How are you?
I'm in my jammies and in my bed.
Aw. That's usually my office, is my bedroom. I thought I'll try to do a little more professional tonight in my living room.
I was trying to think what the best place was to do this. I was asking Josh, because, you know, we put the kids to bed, and I didn't want to take over the kitchen or the living room or anything like that.
My kids were mad. They were here, and I threw them out. I said, you got to be out of here by 8:15 because I need to regroup and, you know, get myself together. And they were, what are you throwing us out of the house? I know you moms have been doing it forever, functioning with the kids around, running, screaming behind you, getting the dog. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
It's not easy.
Yeah. Well, tonight, let's see, is it 8:30? It really is 8:30. So maybe good morning or good afternoon, whatever, Carrie. And Monica's on here, so I appreciate you all being here. So tonight is something that has been going around for a long time in my head. Several people have asked me that question, which I posted in several places today to get some answers from some other people besides what I already have in my own head. And we've gotten a lot of good answers. And so after I go through a little spiel here, I'll let you guys, not let you guys, but you guys are welcome to give your suggestions of what will help Dana or Tashina or whoever has people. I have people that are not on Facebook, and so I have to reach out to them. But everybody does it in a little bit different way. So the question for the evening is then, this is pretending I'm asking this. My prospects and my members are not on Facebook and they don't do social media. What or how am I supposed to keep them engaged, interested, educated, and inspired? And especially if I'm looking at somebody who wants to build, what can I do to help to keep them within the YL bubble and not go inactive? So that's the question. And, we all have some people that are not on Facebook. It's a bummer because Facebook's such a wonderful tool for us to use for things just like this. And so a lot of us do use this as a business tool. But if it's not available, I've got a scenario that I read today. I've been trying to get some clips from the masters of network marketing. And so one of the, Larry, come and get this dog. He's over here digging the carpet. Or the couch, I don't know which. So one of his things was this, and I just want this to sit with you for just a few minutes and move on past it. But he gave the scenario. The scenario is this. If I told you I would give you $20,000 6 months from now if you would go out and sign up 10 people and then train at least 5 of those people into builders. Would you do it? How would you do it? $20,000 is on the line. I'll give you 6 months. Would you try to do it? You're going to find a way to do it. And if Facebook's not available, I think everybody would answer, yes, I would definitely try. And that's what you can get if you do that kind of business outside of Facebook, with Facebook, whatever your thing is. That's the kind of income that you can make. And so that's where I'm just putting that out there. So if somebody told me they'd give me 20 grand, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to write as many darn letters as I could write. I'm going to make as many phone calls as I could make. In fact, that's what we did in the beginning. You know, Facebook, when we started in 2014, yes, it was up, but there weren't groups like there are today. There, you know, everybody was starting out right before that. And so it was all so new. So we basically had to do the basics, which is the phone calls, the letter writing, meet one-on-ones. And so those are the things that without Facebook has to be done. And so it's how bad you want to do it. That's my take on it. So let me think of some of the things. So the old school way. So I posted in one of the groups. If you think back to Mary Young, or your local Avon lady, or Marcella Von Harding, or even Sherry Ross, there weren't even computers back then at all. What did they do? What did they do? And they're all royals. So if your people are not on Facebook and you are hungry enough and you want it bad enough and your why is big enough, you're going to find out those ways that they did. And every one of them's written a book. Road to Royal, what's her name? I can't think of it. Deborah Rayburn is another one. All these people live out in sticks, man, and yet they have built themselves to Royal, not themselves, they have huge teams, and their teams help them just like you guys do me. But they got themselves to Royal. How? There wasn't computers. There wasn't cell phones. So what did they do? We have to go back to basics. And when it comes to that, relationship building is this business. And so what do we have to do to build relationships? And so much, Facebook's a great place and a great platform, but when it comes down to it, and we all know the same, people only care about, people know how much they don't care about how much you know, they care about how much you care. And so taking time to pick up the phone, to call them, to find out what their needs are, to you know, just like you would any friend of yours, you know, friend them, home them, you know, talk about their lives, their children, everything. And over time, the problem that people don't want to do it old school anymore is because it takes time. It takes a lot of time. There are people that I have been talking to for 4 years. I just signed my sister-in-law up. She's been my sister-in-law for probably 45 years. But I mean, since I started, I just signed her up. But it's taken that many little pepperings and little saltines and the return visits, if you will, to finally get her on board. And most of my family is not. I have 8 brothers and sisters, and I have, I think, 3 that are actually young living. So it's taken time, though, to pepper them and salt them and share with them whenever I'm with them. And so even though it's a lot more time consuming, old school is probably a better way to build relationships and to keep those people once they're on board, because they really know that you've spent the time and the quality and invested in them with your time, and they see it, and so they're much more likely to hang on. And not only that, people will only hang with people, I'm going to read one of these things later, who they trust. They can't, I'll tell you, and as many people that I have signed up from Instagram and Facebook, the relationships aren't really there. There's a few of them that I've really gotten close to, but they kind of get lost in the shuffle. And it's hard. It's not hard. I just didn't take the time to build or to get them to trust me. They trust me enough to sign up, but I haven't spent the time and the effort that I needed to or need to, or maybe I will start reaching out to them even more to get them on board with Essential Rewards, which is, that's the basis of our business, right? And so if I don't spend the time or effort or even sending the samples or finding out what their needs are, then they will never join Essential Rewards, and most of the time they fall off. And so it's really, relationship building is something. Amber, I'm going to go back and read some of those things, and I hope you guys will go into Healthy Habits Hub, they call it now. Well, I'm not sure if anybody else is in the silver Silver, what's it called? I'll post it later. Silver something. I posted this in about 3 different places to get answers from different people that are like, senior stars and above. And one of them, though, you guys all know Amber. And Amber's question, I guess it's a question, was, because what we go back to the question, and it is, how do I keep these people engaged? And her question was, well, how did you get them in the first place? If they're not on Facebook, you're not talking on Facebook, and you didn't sign them up through Facebook, how did you get them in the first place? It had to be by phone call or, old school. And so maybe that's the best way to contact them even now, calling them. And yes, it's more time consuming, but that's what you're going to have to do if you want to build a business. Does everybody agree? I hope, because that's the truth. And I'm not trying to be hard on anybody. Some people are just tough when it comes to social media. They don't trust it. They're afraid of it. They don't find need for it. But I'll tell you one thing. I found more people who, if you ask them, do you play Candy Crush? That's the only game that comes to mind. But there's a dozen games out here, Hangman or whatever, that people play. There's another one too, I can't think of it. But anyway, that they play. But you have to have a Facebook account to play it. And so a lot of people have Facebook's account. They just don't use them for the reasons we need. So we have to give them a good enough reason to want to join our groups so that they can get the knowledge. And so that was the next question was, Monica, are you on here? I thought I saw you. Monica, you gave one of the best scenarios when it came to, where's my phone? I got to look on my phone.
I'm here.
Okay, good. What's your scenario when it comes to getting people on Facebook? I loved it.
So because I resisted Facebook and was anti-Facebook, what I do now is I try to, like, if they have a question, I just go, oh, that's a great question, and that's a good question to post in our Facebook group, because then you get a whole bunch of different answers from different people that can give you different perspectives. If I have my phone with me, I'll just click on it right away and go and scroll through and go, oh, look, that was a really good question, and see the responses. Or, oh yeah, I learned that, and kind of take them off topic and just let them actually see on my phone what is there. That may not get them on Facebook, but it's a subtle way to suggest, without saying, look, you need to do this if you want to keep up. It's a subtle way to suggest it without actually saying it.
I love that. And now I posted yesterday, if you go up into the top of the thing and you see that search bar, if they're a team that's been around for more than a couple years, it's likely that question or one very similar has been asked. And because I never really cleaned up my page after, I shouldn't even say that out loud, but, the question's probably still there. And so if you just put it up there in that search bar, whatever, like, that was a good example that Leanna did yesterday. She went and found something from Leah. And so that's what made me go out there and put that post up there, because most people don't even know that. They don't know that they can search. But if you're at a party, somebody asks a question, I think that's genius. Go on your phone. Here, let's look it up right here. We'll find an answer, and then you've showed them Facebook is something worth quality. It's not just a stalking vessel, So, okay, so from there, let me see. I got a few little notes. So we have gone through old customer stuff. Old customer. I was trying to look for Eric Worre's book, and I could not find it anywhere because he was totally old school.
What's the name of his book?
Huh?
What's the name of his book?
Eric Worre, GoPro.
Okay.
GoPro.
I just got it. I haven't even opened it, but
it's
I can grab it if you want me to.
Well, I was just he has scripts and everything that he shows you to go through, but I just wanted to get what he used. But I know his main source of first of all, signing people up, but then educating was cassette tapes. I remember back in the day when I was doing Amway, I mean, that's all you had was cassette tapes to hand out and stuff. And then to educate them, you just had to go to their house and give them the products and use the products. But in the old days, it was samples, cassettes, videos, phones, meetups, one-on-ones. And today, or in regular snail mails, but today we have, somebody mentioned on one of the pages, YouTube videos. So, and they're so good at this. Dana and Tashina are so good at this. They video everything and save them and then put them up into their YouTube channel. So if you can do that, then I believe you can take those same links and use them in your emails. That's the one. Yeah. I just wanted to see what he, at the beginning of his book, he tells what he used to do to contact people and get around people and stuff. But,
well, Julie,
yeah.
I just, as we were talking about this, I actually just kind of thought of something else because I have a lot of people that just text. And I'm thinking what I should do also, like if there's a question, you can screenshot that question that was posted in the Facebook group and send them the screenshot too, which I just thought of now, like, well, duh, why didn't I think of that before?
I know, I didn't either. I'm writing it down. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Screenshot answer and text it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys, up until probably 4 months ago, I literally would spend 1 day a week texting people. And you can, when you do it through the regular messenger on your phone, you can only do 20 people at a time. I'm doing like 200. And back then I was even doing more because I was taking up other people's teams trying to help. Anyway, I spent whole days literally copy pasting, texting people. Well, now they have PB. When you do it the regular way, which was a wonderful way, it worked for me for a long time, but it's time consuming. But if that's all you have and you don't have the funds to get PB or some of these other things, then that's the way to do it. But PB now, you can send out hundreds of messages at one time that you create ahead of time. You can edit it, save it, put a picture in it, you can do whatever, and then you can send it out one time to all those people. Oh my God, it's like such a time saver. I love it, but it's $10 a month and it comes at 10 cents a cost for a text. So it depends where you're at in your business and how much it's worth to you. But I was looking for a quote from Adam Green, who anybody he sees, and I didn't bring that book in here either, but he gives the 4-year career to. Anybody he signs up gets that book. Every single person, he's spending at least $4.50. And that's if you buy 100 at a time, but $4.50 to give that book to every single person. And so if he gives 100 books away, he spent $450. Oh, yeah, but you know what he says? If you give 10 books out, and 1 or 2 of those people sign up, you have paid for the books and you plus some. So it's worth it. So that's how I look at PB, Project Broadcast, because I know I spend $100 a month, probably, and the $10 plus, but it's worth it. It's worth it. In November, our OGV as a team went up, I don't know, $15,000 in 1 month, but I was texting like a maniac, and they were getting all the Black Friday, which holiday? Black Friday stuff, and I was doing it 5 times that day. It was crazy, but it works if you're willing to spend a few bucks. So now I'm going to go one by one. Everybody here's got a tip. I know they do. Carrie, what would you say if you don't have people on Facebook and you can't do them that way? What would be your number one way? Did you just go away? Oh, I thought she went away. What would be your number one way to contact somebody if they're not on Facebook? They're already signed up and now you need to educate them about their kit. Okay, while she gets her microphone on, because I know they got me timed for 1 hour, I think. So got us timed. So anybody, Leanna, can you open your mic?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go. I liked the point you brought out where they asked, how did you sign them up in the first place? I think y'all can hear me okay, right? I think that is the perfect way. I think everybody needs to be treated individually, and whatever it is, their method of communication that they prefer, that's what we need to do, which might be difficult for us because we're going to have to do something different for everyone. But I think whether it's a phone call or a personal relationship, just whichever way that we can keep in contact and really build that relationship and befriend them, that is key. I personally try various ways in the beginning, and then whichever one they respond to first, that's what I kind of stick to. So, whether it's an Instagram message, a Facebook message, a text message, an email, I mail letters to everybody who gets a kit. I mail the Fearless book to everybody who gets a kit. So whichever way, if they call me back, that's the way I'm going to try to keep in touch with them. But I wanted to mention, because you were talking about sending bunches and bunches of text, there's a free app that you can download that will let you schedule messages to send out. But the only thing is you can't send pictures. So that's, you can't send a graphic, which kind of stinks. But I think it was Bethany Shipley. I heard her. It was just an audio recording of one of her speeches. I think you may have shared it with me. There's on iPhones, you can actually go to settings and then general. I just wrote this down. Keyboard and text replacement. And it's already in there, by default. OTW. If you just type in your phone OTW, it will text on the way. It'll actually spell it out for you. So you can set up paragraphs. So if someone asks about lemon essential oil, you can set it up in your phone where if you just type lemon, it will text them the entire paragraph about lemon. So you don't have to copy and paste. You don't have to do any of that. It just knows that it's kind of like a code, really. And so if somebody's asking about pregnancy and essential oils, of course you have to type it out once. But once you type it out, if you ever get asked that question, you can just save that script and put it in text replacement in your phone. So that's a really cool shortcut, and you can, they're stored in there alphabetically. So that's a cool tip.
That's awesome.
As far as reaching out to people who aren't on social media, I mean, a lot of my people aren't. A lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth about social media. I try not to push it. If they ask a question and there's a good answer already on social media, I've done the screenshot and send it to them, and then they see the value in it, and then they want to, they ask to be part of the group. But I'll generally ask them if they want to be added before I add them, because it can be overwhelming. And a lot of people just want to have that one point person as their contact, at least in the beginning. So I try to respect their wishes and gradually get them into the mix. Other people just want as much information at their fingertips as soon as possible. But like I said, you've just got to treat everybody differently, in my opinion. Those are my 2 cents. Any questions?
Can I just make a suggestion? If you didn't understand what Leanna was talking about, because she doesn't have time to really explain the whole general thing about it, then I'm sure there are YouTube videos that talk about it.
Yes, it's called text replacement.
Yeah. So if you just go to YouTube and probably type that in, you'll probably get a slew of stuff, and if not, Google it. Good suggestion. Thank you so much. Whose mic is open that can speak? It will tell us what they would do if they have team members now and they want to educate them beyond the kit and to keep them inspired to keep rolling with Young Living. Somebody raise your hand. Come on.
I really like Project Broadcast. I've used that for just about since it came out, and I ebb and flow with it. But for new members, it is a godsend. I mean, think about it. You've written out all the text. Vital 180 has all the graphics for you. You literally set it and forget it. You put their, every month you could download the new member list, put it in there and send it then, or you can enter them in as you get them. It's up to you how you want to do it. And it's, I've never gotten negative feedback on those tidbits. When they first get their kit, they are hungry. Feed them. And once you get the ball rolling, a lot of times they'll, at that point, start to educate themselves and look for outside sources, or, hey, those graphics are great. Where can I get more of that? But I love that, the Text Today campaign. And you literally, you just basically add a tag to their name, and it sends it out every day for you. Here's my, Charlotte's waving at you. Here's my thing, though, is leave a question at the end so it sounds personal. And when they respond, make sure to say something back. Let it become a conversation each time, and not just, feeding them, because they crave your input in that community as much as anything else.
And just in case you don't know about PB, it automatically will put the person's name in, like, hey, Leanna, hey, Leah, hey, Melissa, automatically for you. It's wonderful. So it looks personalized already. And then what she was saying, as far as the kit, most of us do send out some kind of kit tidbits to the people. And you literally make up this campaign one time, and then every time you add another name, they will start right at the first one again. Even though somebody may be on the 10th tidbit, their name goes right in and they'll start on the first one. It's quite amazing. It's an amazing thing. I don't know how to explain it, but, and I'm still really in the process of learning. So I can't talk about that enough either. It's really been a nice thing. So thank you, Leah, for that. Okay, so now I'm growing, and I have several team members, and I really am having a little more difficult time. So do I email people? Do people still email?
Absolutely. The survey that I did with my team, 50% of them love email. I email almost once a month.
And do you include a video clip or pictures or some graphics in there, or is it just an email?
No, I always have graphics of the upcoming events that I'm promoting, and it doesn't matter to me whether or not they're on Facebook. As part of a possible fear of missing out, where I will also include like the Facebook link to the upcoming thing. It's a lot of times the way that I will get out some of the promos and stuff like that, and it makes sure that every single person on my team knows my name. And I send out the welcome email, and then I follow up with a welcome postcard. And I think that's one of the reasons why I have a really high rate with people actually answering the phone when I care call, because like they definitely know my name because they've gotten an email from me, and then they've gotten a postcard with my name on it. So it doesn't really matter.
Do you personalize those emails? I mean, I know you've got all your classes and everything. You want all that. That is a way. But do you personalize and say, hey, what's up? How's your family? Do you start it off with something, or is it just a business contact email?
It's just a business contact email. Unless it's a welcome one, the welcome ones are definitely personalized. And a lot of times I'll mention, hey, I'm Dana's sister. If you ever can't get in touch with her, feel free to contact me. Hey, I'm a friend of Yolanda's. If you can't ever get in touch with her, contact me.
That's good. I say the same thing. That's good. There's another thing I wanted to mention before we go off, and it's another thing. Yes, these things cost money, but if you're at a point, which it is an executive that really has been asking this question. So she is definitely at a point where she's tipping over into silver. If you are at this point, you have to be willing to spend a little to make a little. I'll just say that. So there's a place called Grow Workspace. And if you can't do it, no one. Who's got time, especially you moms, to make up newsletters? But they have a really nice newsletter in there already pre-made. You can tweak it. I mean, I've seen people who literally tweak it with their own graphics, their own pictures, but all the wording, verbiage is already done, so it takes the load off you, if you're into that. So there's just all kinds of stuff in that. And sometimes she only has it for $6.99. You can sign up for 6 months for $6.99, but actually I think it's $14.99 a month. But there's so many things in there that are wonderful. She's got trifolds for chiropractors, which we have. I know Young Living has their own, but these are for classes. She has them for yoga studios. She has them for gyms. She's got whole classes for gym, yoga studios, teachers. So, I mean, if you don't want to create the wheel and do all that, there's newsletters, all that stuff, even letters have been scripted to make, and you can pull them out and just make them your own. That's all available for you. So now, I'm curious how many are really doing one-on-ones rather than big parties? And do you carry that?
All the time, on a regular basis. I had 2 this week, and I had a Zoom one last week.
And do you carry that through to stay in contact with them well after the kit signing?
Absolutely.
Here lately, I've been doing more one-on-ones just because of my circumstances. But if I had it my way, I would do a couple classes a month. It's my goal.
Yeah. And then after that, you say, I know you're you have very good classes, and you sign up 3 people, 4 people. And then after that, after you've gone through sending them their welcome letters and all that, it's a year down the road. Are they on ER?
I've only been doing it a year.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I don't know. I hope so.
I'm sorry. You're so seasoned. See, you act like you've been doing it forever.
I don't even think I've been on ER a year.
Yeah, it's coming. Your loyalty oil's coming.
So we'll see. That's a good question. But when I have the classes, I pass around the sign-up sheet, and then they put on there their preferred method of communication. And so I try to follow up that way, even with the people who didn't purchase kits, because I engage in conversations with all of them. So I like to follow up on that, as often as I can.
Yeah, that's good. How about you, Melissa? I know you haven't been on that long, but how do you follow up with your people? Or how do you just follow up with prospects even?
Yeah, well, a lot of the girls where I work at the hospital, I can take a few minutes and talk to them about the various oils. A lot of people have, they need support for sleep and whatnot and stress. And so, I usually have my oils with me, and I have given out a few catalogs, and I've actually followed up with a couple of people at work, and one of my newer members lately joined ER. So it's just a matter of touching base with them again, which is not always easily to do, just because we work different shifts and whatnot. But I do try and touch base with them when I do have a minute at work, just to pop down to the different floors and see how they're doing and how they're liking their oils and what else they may need, some help with or some support with. But I really liked that that comment that Monica had said about, or maybe it was Amber, how did you get a hold of those people in the first place? Go back to that, because it does, does really seem like if that worked, then why try something different? Or, like Leanna had said, when you do have your class or whatnot, what's their preferred contact method? Because I think, if they're on Instagram, then, maybe you need to go more that way than Facebook. So I guess you are going to have multiple ways of contacting people in order to have a wide variety, to please your audience, which is a wide variety.
Mm-hmm. And I am not a master of Instagram at all, but I know Monica is running a class. I don't follow all you guys all the time. I just don't have time. But I did notice your class, Monica, and you have so much involvement in that class online. It's shocking. I mean, I was so happy for you. I don't know what you're doing, but that's an awesome way. But I was trying to think of how you could take that same thing, same class, maybe some, graphics, and text that around to people, or email that class around to people, or go meet them one-on-one and play it on your phone, somehow, or show them on your phone the class that somebody else made on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. We've got to think out of the box for these people who are not online.
So that's my next project. Just because for anyone that's on or watching, the Grow Workspace I got into last year, and now they have a textable link to a class.
Sway.
Yes, and honestly, I'm the nerd, and I really would prefer to develop my own classes, but who has the time to do all that? So I'm going through the classes, figuring out which ones I like, and offering to text people some. And how I have started to do that is I am contacting the people in different fields, like the friends of mine who go to the gym or who are personal trainers. I'm saying, hey, I'm trying this new method. Will you audit this link for me, go through the class, and please give me feedback on this class as an introduction to get them to start looking at it. So it's the textable thing that I'm working on next and trying to get comfortable with doing that.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Let's see, who haven't we asked yet? Well, Carrie, can you get off of, can you turn your mic on, or?
I think so. Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know I think you asked me the question first, and that's when my internet cut out. So I didn't hear the original question. But down here, I have a not Facebook group, but WhatsApp, because almost everybody uses that because they could do free phone calling instead of paying the phone plans. So, but you can't see anything previous to when you join. So it's a little bit inconvenient that way. So I tell them they can share with their friends that haven't joined yet, so I don't have to repeat it all over. That's my duplicatable system. And I haven't been getting a whole lot of feedback in there. So I'm going to work on that. But I guess the original topic here is, what do we do for those who are not on social media? One thing I've been doing is the graphics from Vita 180, Grow Workspace. I've seen some using those, and some of them aren't my graphics, but I screenshot them and I go to a print shop and I print them out. So when I have my one-on-ones or a class, they can see the printout of the information. It's like, oh yeah, what was this one for? What's good for that one? And I'll just say, which one did you like? And they can take that piece of paper, and I try to make a mental note, which lasts for up to 3 seconds, and I try to write it down, which one they were most interested in, or I see that they have the reaction to. But people want the physical printout if they're not on social media. If they're on social media, then yeah, it's easy to share it. But we were talking about those who aren't, and I've been trying to do, Tuesdays at a certain place. One person offered a place on Tuesdays, and I'll just be there and I'll provide the information because I don't have a place where they can necessarily come into my home. And we're kind of all spread out long distances here, down here in the jungle. So, but meeting for lunch, and physically I don't always have the energy to go to people's house and bring all my stuff with me. So I kind of been doing the open house thing. But having printouts has really helped a lot, because people still are visual. Even if they're on social media, they want to see and they need that reference printed out. So that's been helping me a lot. But yeah, the personal contact, like you said, that's old school, but that's what social media is the replacement for. That personal contact is the real deal.
I remember being at an Amber Cross's first party, and she had her green album flip pages. We all started with those. I was just looking to see if I could find one, because I used to give my leaders a book with all the different oils, and that's how they got started. It was crazy, but it was fun because you were personalized. But I was going to share this one thing that I found. Wait, oh shoot, I just went away. Let's see. This is Sarah Robbins. I was looking up some stuff by her. I don't know if you know. She's a school teacher, gone. I don't know what it is, but she's like royal in her company. But she says when it comes about, she feels that the relationship building and stuff is at a loss in network marketing. And because we are the representatives for it, we need to get it back, because people look at you. That's why people run. They think, oh, they're just friending me because they're going to sell their product. That's why it takes so much time, but that's how it works. You know, it could take a year, 2 years, 3 years for somebody to come and sign up with you, but they know that you're doing it because you actually care and you're not just trying to sign them up. So here's what she has to say. It's just one paragraph out of her blog. It says, however, and this is talking about parties, when friends pick up the phone and call me to invite their parties, rather than getting just a text or an email or something, you know, that's blasting them, it says, when they invite me to their party, sharing their excitement or sends me a personal message or invitation to an online or in-person event, I'm more inclined to support them and then spread the news. This is what I've trained our team to do, and it served us and our personal reputation of the company's reputation very well long term. So I know Adam Green, which I adore. He's just such a young guy, but he's so smart. He literally, you know, it sounds kind of cold, but it's just that he doesn't have time. He literally has someone who sends out all the cards and all the stuff and keeps up with all the people in his line, you know, making them, that goes off on a different subject of, well, I don't know what it's called, even making people feel good, but, you know, that one-on-one touch, or just that little card in the mail or whatever, is very, it does a good job. It does good things. Let's see here.
That's under recognition. That's what he usually does, like when they hit star and everything. And Bethany Shipley does that too.
Yeah.
For all 6,000 people on her team, they get anniversary cards, they get birthday cards, and they get rank up gifts.
Yeah. Well, I can't afford all that. Oh, there, Tara Lynn. Sure. Everybody know Tara Lynn? She's my upline.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. Okay. Hey, everybody. I don't know some of you on here, so hey, it's awesome to see you and meet you. And my screen, I'm on my iPad, so your names are so teeny weeny. But so there's some of you I don't know, so I'm glad to get to see you and meet you. And I just wanted to just jump on here tonight real quick and just give a shout out to all of you who are on this screen right here tonight, because that shows that you care. You care what's happening. You care about your business. You care about Young Living, and you care about sharing. And that is truly what it's all about. Just share it. Let me tell you something. Julie is the hardest working girl I know on my team.
I love you.
This girl, well, I love you too, Julie. But if you need anything, Julie is there for you always. I'm there for you. But all of you, seriously, y'all have done an amazing job. And the little one, I don't know where she is on the screen for you. But you said you'd only been in it for a year. Hey, that's you know, a year is a long time. Go for it. Just keep it up. Don't say I've only been in it for a year. You've been in it for a year. Give it your all. Give it your all. Give it everything you have for that year. That's how I did it. That's how Julie did it. We've all done it. I just wanted to come on here. I'm not trying to interrupt Julie's training because she offers the best training there is. But I just wanted to come on here and tell each one of you, boom, 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 all of you, I'm so proud of you. I hope to see you all at convention. I will be at a convention in July. I hope to see you all there. If you need rooms, let me know. We could, I don't, just work it out. Just get there. Get to convention. You that's only been in it a year. I don't know if you were there last year or not. Get there. It's awesome. It's life-changing. Seriously, go to convention. This is Young Living's 25th year, you guys. It's going to be an amazing convention. It's going to be awesome. It's going to blow it off the charts. But I didn't mean to interrupt, Julie. I'm sorry. But I saw that you guys were on and up right now and having your team training. And jump on her trainings, you guys. You can't get training like this anywhere else.
You should be on these calls every week. We would love to have you.
I have a lot of other things.
I know.
I will try. You always send me the
It's hard for me to get on it.
Send me the link. I will do my best. Send me the link. But yeah, we've got, it's, when you start getting lots of legs, it's lots of times and different things. But yeah, but all you guys, seriously, I love you guys, really. I know I don't know you. I appreciate everything you do. Just don't stop sharing. That's the key. If you just tell one person, hey, man, don't sell them. Do not sell them. We're not here to sell them anything. We're here to help them. What can I do to help you? Or I don't know. Obviously, most of you are on social media, but if you're going to make a post on social media, don't try and sell them anything. But my advice is to get on there and say, oh my gosh, you guys, have you ever had like this, ick in your stomach? This peppermint, man, saved me. I could be like a Prime commercial this morning. I woke up, my little gut was not happy this morning. I don't know what I did. I kept trying to figure out what I did. My husband, of all people, walked in. He goes, have you put some Digis on? I was like, seriously, my husband, of all people. I was all about what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Instead of what can I do? But seriously, you guys, Digis on the old gut. I was like 15, 20 minutes later, I was like, all good. So, but anyway, you girls just keep it up. You're doing an amazing job. All of y'all are rocking it. And especially this year, this is January. Look, we got a whole year of going and ranking and sharing and just being awesome. And I just want to say, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And if we're not friends on Facebook, please reach out to me. I'd love to be your friend on Facebook. All right.
Well,
thanks,
she's
Julie.
my silver upline. Yay. I only have like 15 more minutes, so I want to make sure that I cover some of these things because.
Okay, bye.
Don't go away. You stay, though.
I'm going to mute myself.
Oh, okay. So I know, Tashina, I'm going to let you talk for a minute because I know you send out postcards and something else through a company that you use. But I also, that Grow Workspace has the newsletters. Sherry Ross herself, I do not use these. I'm just trying to give you, Dana, I'm trying to give you some ideas to think about and roll over. And maybe you don't want to use Sherry Ross's postcards that she has made up, but she does make those up for the whole team that you can order from her and then send out every month with the promos and etc. You can find those on her page, I'm sure. She sends enough emails to us, doesn't she? I mean, you can read those and find them. So the postcards are another good reason, another good thing. Somebody's got to turn off their sound. I don't know who it is. Vistaprint, if you want to make up your own postcard, if you have time to do that kind of stuff, then Bristol.
Tashina, mute yourself. Oh, there she did. She did.
Thank you. So there was a couple other things that I was thinking of, and now I don't have them here. But I was going to read a couple more things. that I found online, how to build and maintain relationships, because that's what it's all about, ladies. I don't care what we say. We can sign them up and sign them up and sign them up all you want, but if they're not going to hang on, you ain't making a check. That's all that it comes down to. I'm telling you, it's just you're not. And I'll tell you, we have that last month, I think, you can tell me, Tara Lynn, I think we had 63 people going inactive. There's been a month where I've had 100 people. So, and they're not just in my little one, my personal leg. So I'm just saying, we have to reach out to these people because they're signing up with their kids and they're being lost. And we're just not peppering it and educating them enough. And so that's why I send out 200 texts every single week, is to keep them involved, keep them in front of them, keep them and have, they always are texting back. I get maybe 10 or 15 texts back saying, oh, you just made me remember something, or, you know, what would I use for this? It doesn't matter. I don't care what they ask me or what they want. It's communication back and forth, and it's wonderful. Okay, so for customers, it says, your customers want to hear from you. Emails are great. Text messages are great. Your voice on the other end where you can hear the laughter and reflection is what's all about. I don't care what anybody says. That's what it's all about. Though maybe not as frequently as your downline might want to talk to. Using strategically timed videoed emails to thank them for their business, to promote a sale, or provide helpful tips, sending monthly video newsletters to keep them in the know are great ways to strengthen, strengthen and maintain those relationships. So what I say, video emails, phone calls, newsletters, helpful tips, that's what they want to hear. While determining how often to contact them depends on your business content and your target audience, we all know that. Finding a healthy balance can often be achieved by looking at metrics. Well, that just lost me because I ain't in all that number stuff. I just, you know, I know when I talk to people how to, sorry, Karen, but I'm pretty in tune with people. That's a part of the blue personality, I guess. Study your open rates, see how many people open the emails, actually open them, how many you actually get back. I mean, that takes another whole thing of calculating. I'm not into. Okay, so that's for customers. Now for business professionals, it says, depending on your closeness of that relationship, strive to connect with the contacts every few months to several times each year. Now these are business people. These are like more, Tashina, this is up your alley. You deal with a lot of professional people. But I'm reading this because we have to contact these people. They want to hear from you. They want to hear your voice. They just do. That was in the Watchtower today too, just about personalizing. Whether you invite them out to coffee and have their favorite box of cookies delivered to their office, take advantage of every opportunity to massage. We all know what a massage is. It's not just like, you know, when you ask your husband to give you a massage and he just needles you in the back a few times and says, over there, that ain't nothing. You want to take the time and you want to massage those relationships. I'm serious. It says, whether you invite them to coffee, give them some cookies, you take advantage of every opportunity to massage a relationship and reestablish yourself as a welcomed member to the network. So, Dana, it's not easy. It takes twice the amount of time, if not longer, to keep the relationships going, to educate them, to nurture them, to make the phone calls. We know it. You get on, that's why we all text, because you pick up the phone and you know, just saying hi and how you doing and all that, that's 10 minutes. Each call could take an hour. But if that is the only way to do it, then that's the only way to do it. Get those appointments, schedule one-on-ones. And as far as people far away, I know you have a nice little team growing down there in Carolinas, and I know you've made a trip down there, and I know that it helped when you did. So sometimes you got to travel. If they're not on the internet. I know some of those people down there are though, but And this is a case in point. Last month, Leah has been working with her daughter. You guys know that. So I took over several hundred of her people, and I PB'd them, which is that project broadcast. And all I did so far, because I have been sick and all these other things, but anyway, all I have done so far was send my introductory letter, which I had already made from 6 months ago, and just put her people in there and dink and sent it. And then the next day I said, oh, by the way, I like to send these daily tidbits, da, 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 da. And I you know what? People say, ask them if they want to be put into this thing, or ask them to text back, opt in, or whatever. I don't do that. It doesn't work for me. And this is the reason why. And this is Friday on that, not Good Friday, what's it called? On Black Friday, when I sent a text message telling people, this is before, it was a week before, I am going to be sending 5 texts at least during the day on Black Friday. Some people, they're paying for their text message or whatever. They don't want to be text bombed. Then, opt out, type back, opt out, and I will take your name off of the list. And I think I had maybe 3 out of hundreds. 3 people say opt out. Well, then, once I make up this thing and add all the names, it's just a pain in the butt to take the names back out. So as I'm texting on that Friday, I send the first text message, which was for their first thing, then the second one, and then I was sending a tidbit about thieves and, whatever. And by the 4th one, I had like 6 people, I think, say, get me off of this, you're driving me nuts or whatever. That's okay. I said, fine, off you go. But I still had all those hundreds out there. If you ask, the point is, I asked them to opt out. People don't hardly read things. Do you understand? If you ask them opt in, they're going to say, oh, I'll do that later. They're not going to opt in either. Opt them in. This is my way of doing it. I opt them in, and then they tell me later, opt me out. Or if they say, this is a pain, I don't want it. Out of hundreds, and I'm telling you, I've had maybe 10 people tell me, get me off of this. And then I had 2 of those people from Friday, what happened to those tidbits? What happened to those tidbits you used to send? So 8 people out of hundreds. But if you tell them to opt in, you're going to get 8 people to opt in. That's my tidbit for that. Even whenever you're texting, until they tell you I want out, I put them in. That's the way it goes. Okay, so that's pretty much, I'm not going to go through all the stuff that was posted online, but if you go into, I did put it on Vital 180. It was there for a minute and then it was gone, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. But in not Team Healthy Habits, what do they call it now? Healthy Habit Hub, I posted the question, and I think that there's probably 18 comments back, so that would be good for you all to read, not just the ones who asked the question. In fact, I keep saying her, but I know you've all asked the same question in your own heads or hearts or whatever and just not voiced it. And so we've all been there. Every single one of us have been there. So I just think, go there. What was the name of the other one? I said I went and looked it up and then I didn't write it down. It's called Silver something. Tashina, you're in there, I think. Silver.
You posted it in YLEO Life also.
Oh, but I didn't get any. You know what? She has thousands and thousands of people in there, and I didn't get any answers there. Isn't that funny? So it's not always about how many people's in the group. that just goes back to things that have been going on all week long, because she literally has like 17,000 members, something outrageous, and I didn't get any comments from there, but I did put it in the hub and got like 17 or 18. This other one that I had, it's a great, it's Duplication Rocks, but that's not what they call it. It's a wonderful group. I love this group. Where is it? Going Silver and Beyond. And I posted it in there. Let's see where it's at down here now. And we got 18 comments. And so there's several of them in there too. So it would pay for you guys to, go there and read those comments too, so you don't have to just hear it from me. I know you want something easier. I know you don't want to have to make all those phone calls. I know how much it takes to write letters or emails. And I don't mean text these letters. I mean, a handwritten letter. Hey, how you been? Did you use that oil yet? It is the best oil. You know, I had that headache the other day. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. Okay, my stomach was burping back at me, and that Digest is just the best stuff. Have you used that? I mean, just and say, I hope everything's fine. You know, call me and send it. And I know the stamps are going up 5 more cents, but is 55 cents worth 55 cents a month worth somebody signing up at the end of the year? It is. And you'll have a good relationship with them. And you'll know what their needs are because you've been talking to them. So that's what I have for tonight, you guys. And you guys have really rocked it. Anybody else? I can't see. I can only see specific faces, and I know there's more on here. So if anyone else has something to say or give a tidbit to, I would be happy to hear them out. Karen, I just saw you.
Hi.
You.
Yes. Hey, so really quick, I thank you so much for getting into this and just talking to us about this, because this is something that I know that I need to do too, right? So just to get in there, but there was a book that I actually read that was phenomenal when it comes to relationship building. It's called The Friendship Factor. It's by Alan Lowe McGinnins, and it goes into the specifics behind the friendship factor and how, when you develop that friendship, and how to develop that friendship. And it's a really, really good read. And I tell you what, when I was reading it, I was more apt to go out and to create a bigger, a better bond with the people in my circle. So if people are looking, or if people are looking for references or like how to do this, because, you know, I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better person. And in that being a better friend, better person, I can help them reach goals that they want, because when you're friends with somebody, then they're going to actually open up to you a little bit more too, right? So I really enjoyed that book, and I just wanted to put that little tidbit out there. One other thing that Shannon Hudson actually shared this evening is that when you do face-to-face, so when you do eyeball to eyeball, there is an actual hormone that is released, an oxytocin or oxytocin, whatever. There's a hormone that's released that creates a bond between you. So good for people that are doing like the Zoom calls too, because that's a way to get a face-to-face time with people, right? And so I just thank you so much for putting that together, and I just wanted to talk to you about just get the little tidbit of the friendship factor, and then also getting eyeball to eyeball with people. So thanks so much.
Yeah. No, thank you. I love hearing from you guys. Is there anybody else who hasn't had a chance to speak that wants to? You know? All I can say is I love this team. I will do what I can for you guys, but I can't do the work for you. And I, you know, anybody, and I've said this before, and I'm going to reiterate it, and then I'm going to let you go. If you are trying, I don't care if you sell 1 kit a year. If you are trying, if you are telling me you are trying, and you are trying, and I give you some steps. And I'm not dictating to you. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm dictating. I've just been there, and I know. So I'm telling you what works. And then if you go out and try it, I love you. If it doesn't work the first time, that's okay. It's all right. You tried it. But if I ask you to do something or tell you, you know, over a certain amount of time, it's like anybody. Eric Worre, he says, here, I'm going to give you this book, and then, you know, can you read it in a couple weeks' time? How long is it going to take you to read? If they said 2 weeks, I'll call you on Monday in 2 weeks. You know, he expects something from them. And so if somebody says they're a builder, I will be, and you girls know, most of you girls on here know that I will back you that way. But when you have another silver above you and another silver above you, and then me, and even Tara Lynn's on here, and Amber, you have dozens of people to go to. And so for help, but you still got to do the work. That's all I got to say. So when it comes to Facebook, if they're not on there, it's a lot more work, but it's worth the work. It's worth it, because you will build. And I'll tell you, you too, Dana and Anthony, are a force to be reckoned with. I've told you that 1,000 times. I don't know if you actually hear what I say. Maybe I'm yelling it at you, but you guys are a phenomenal team, a phenomenal team. You're just at that point right now that every single silver has been at executive, where you're breaking away from the leaders, if you will, because you are a leader. You both are leaders, and you just got to find your way and break out and do your thing. We've all been there. I remember going through a time with Carolyn and Amber. They weren't there for me. They didn't, and back then we didn't have anything. We had none of any of this stuff, or half the books that are today. But when I was getting to that point where I just had to spread my wings and do my thing and find out what that thing was, of course, they were the blame. They were not there to help me, and they weren't there to this, and they weren't there to, and you know what? We are here for you, and we are. And I hope this phone call has helped every one of you guys, find something out of it, and that I love it. I am so glad that I got to do this call. I'm so glad that they were busy and couldn't do this call tonight, because it makes me feel closer to you all. But I hope you got something out of it, and more power to you. Call me if you need me. You know, I got my number. And I love you all. And I guess that's I don't know if I can stop the recording, or if Dana and those
We
guys.
haven't gone over events, so.
Oh, is that what you do? I'm sorry. I haven't done this call in a long time.
Yep. So tomorrow night, for anyone that's Spanish speaking, we're starting our boot camp for everyone that feels like they don't have exactly what they need in order to train their people of how to do the business. So that's going to be every Monday night at 8:30 on my Zoom line. So there's a Facebook event out there for that. And then for those that are helping with the rally here on Tuesday, we have our planning call, because it's 2 weeks away. So we got to get together and divvy up the task and start working on the schedule and stuff like that. And then Sunday is our monthly spa party for everyone in Metro Detroit. And then everybody should be at a rally on the following Saturday, the 19th.
I have one more thing to say about the calendar thing. You guys, it's going to be growing pains. We have to go through this. It is a wonderful idea. It was Tashina's idea to do this calendar thing, and I've always wanted to do it, but you guys know the whole blue thing is just too much. But I think we've got it down, and I love the idea of it. But I really, everybody wants to be a part of this team. Everybody wants to, not wants, maybe you don't want, but if you're a leader and a builder, you need to have your face on the Facebook page, whether it's Hub or ours or whatever, that's your choice. But to be visual and involved, so that your people that are under you can see it. Okay, and so because I sat and I read all of this stuff in the hot promo, whatever that chat room thing is, and every one of you want more involvement, more empowerment, more this, more that. So this is your chance to step up. Many of you have already, and I appreciate it. But as the month goes on, like this month is just a trial run. I'm telling you, we'll get through it. Next month, we'll also, we're just all getting into it. Eventually, we'll all know how to get that document, and we'll just go in there and throw our names in. But I can tell you, it's going to take several months. It just is. I've had to call everybody and say, can you do this? Can you do that? Because we're just not used to it. So Tashina, it will happen. It will happen. I am not a machine, and don't work as quickly or nearly as good as you. I know, but it will be done. And I appreciate all you guys for helping me too. So sign up where you can in there. And if you can't, just call me or text me, and I'll make sure your name gets into a slot. Okay? Love you all. I don't know, Anthony, if you've got to stop it or if I do. Call me. I'm here. I need one of you, Carrie. I need your sessions. I need one now. Love you. I'm going to stop recording. I think I can do it. I see a little button here, but I just don't want to mess it up. I hope it's good. Do you want to stop cloud recording? Yes. Bink. It didn't work. Bink.